Track reviews.
Hi everyone, Naked Thinny Lip Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well and feeling free up here. It's time for a track review. I'm going to take on this brand new song and single from famed alternative rock band Weezer. They have a new record coming out, the Black Album. They are coming fresh off of what I felt was the worst album in their discography and simultaneously one of their biggest singles in a while, a cover of Toto's Africa. That's actually not that bad. But let's see if this new single, this new track over here holds up. Maybe it'll be the band's next big hit. It's titled Can't Knock the Hustle. Hopefully it's better than some of the teaser tracks from Pacific Daydream. Not exactly demanding here that the band always have to go back to their roots and do the same thing over and over and over. I feel like we're kind of past that opportunity at this point. But that being said, as long as we're not getting a bunch of cheap synthesized instrumentation and annoying millennial whoa-whoas, this track could be a marked improvement over a lot of what the band has been releasing over the past year or so. So let's give it a try. Weezer, Can't Knock the Hustle. Ba-bam! Okay. That's not a bad track. That's actually a pretty good track. It's certainly a better starter and an introduction for this new full-length album than, again, what they were presenting on their last full-length LP, Pacific Daydream. So kind of looking forward to the Black Album now based off of this track. Now, what is the band doing here? What's the whole theme behind this track? What's the idea? I mean, conceptually, it seems like Rivers is very much writing a very pointed song about his songcraft, the efforts he's put in to keep Weezer on the map, his evolution in the commercial music industry, not merely as just an artist and a songwriter, but an entertainer and a performer, talking about how his manager's slacking, so he has to move quick. He's lacking in natural gifts. He's an ugly motherfucker, but he works hella harder, and you can write a blog about it, is one of a few pretty smart, very self-aware meta verses throughout this thing. The choruses are pretty smooth. I love the hasta luego finish on the hooks on this thing. And the production, while it is synthetic and it's not really as rock-driven as some of Weezer's classic records, it does feel like a tried and true alternative 90s throwback, because this track read to me as one of many acts and songs to come out of the 90s, where you had these artists and groups who were up and coming at the time that were fusing elements of pop and soul and funk and rock and hip-hop. I'm talking about artists like Beck and artists like Cake, and there were many more of them. There were a lot of artists doing it, and it's like Weezer is finally getting around to doing this. It's funny because that was a pretty popular menagerie mode at the time, but Weezer was completely outside of all of it and doing their own nerd chic alternative rock thing. And now it's like they finally warmed up to the idea with David Sitek at the production helm on this new record, apparently. And it's actually sounding pretty good. It actually makes me wish that this was a sound and a risk that the band took earlier when this idea was maybe a tad more relevant, because as catchy and as smooth and as smartly produced as this track is, with its groovy bass and its fun little guitar leads and its kind of rolling, cycling, funky hip-hop inspired drum beat, I'm sort of worried with this aesthetic falling out of mainstream trends entirely. Will this track just kind of fall on deaf ears? And Will this be a record where Weezer is, in a way, appealing to older fans who might remember a time in mainstream music history when this sound was like what the radio was primarily pumping out? That being said, though, I think it's a good track. I think it's a fun song. I like the production. I like Rivers' lyrics on the track quite a bit. It's definitely one of Weezer's more knowing and self-aware tracks in a while. And yeah, while it's not exactly an anthem or a rager, it is pretty straightforward. It is pretty catchy, and can't knock the hustle. I can't knock the hustle. I think it's a likable. I think it's a good track. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. You guys tell me what you thought about this cut down in the comments. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? Is it total crap and completely useless? Or do you feel like this is a sound that Weezer could kind of grow into on this new full-length LP? Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Weezer, Can't Knock the Hustle, Forever.